In this video, things are about to get dark for the rest of the NFL because I have assembled a team of black jerseys to see if they can go 20-0. We have the Las Vegas Raiders, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New Orleans Saints, the Carolina Panthers, and the Atlanta Falcons. That's where we start this video in ATL Desmond Ridder, along with the brand new Carolina Panther Andy Dalton, the QB1 for the Saints Derek Carr, the guy who's gonna replace him in Las Vegas, Jimmy Garoppolo, and a Pittsburgh Steeler, Kenny Pickett. At a running back, they have Josh Jacobs, 95 overall, just recently got X Factor. You have a phenomenal receiving back, Alvin Kamara, Miles Sanders, aka Booby, brand new Carolina Panther. And this Saint is gonna go marching into the end zone a lot. Jamal Williams. This team also has Patterson, Najee Harris, so much depth at the running back position. Fullback, we have Jakob Johnson, Devontae Adams, wide receiver number 1, Michael Thomas, Olave, Adam Thielen, now in Carolina, Deontay, Renfro, Jacoby, now in Las Vegas, Drake London, Pickens, Mac Hollins, one of the best dancers in the league, now in Atlanta. How about the new Raiders tight end, OJ Howard, not to mention Taysom Hill, Hayden Hurst, the new Panther, Pat Freiermuth, and Kyle Pitts. No abilities on the O-line, but they're all very capable of holding their own. Colton Miller, Moton, Eric McCoy, Lindstrom, Ramczyk, Matthews, Daniels, Sumalu, brand new Pittsburgh Steeler, and Ikem Ekwonu. Offense is 6 overalls less than the defense, so if you thought this was good, then when you see this side of the ball, it may shock you. Marcus at strong safety, Jeremy Chin behind him. The Falcons have a brand new elite safety, Jesse Bates III, Minka, the Honey Badger, Von Bell, and I've been loving the likes and the support on the videos, but if you want this to keep going almost every single day, I need more. Lattimore at CB number 1. On the other side, we have AJ Terrell Jr. The Steelers have a new CB1, Patrick Peterson, Hayward, Dante Jackson, JC Horn, CHJ, and having a guy this good at left outside linebacker helps as well. TJ Watt, Frankie Louvu, and Pete Werner behind him. Demario Davis at MLB, along with Shaq Thompson and Cole Holcomb. Another addition to that Steelers defense. Max Crosby on the other side of TJ Watt, along with Chandler Jones, Alex Highsmith. Hayward's still going. At 33 years old, he's gonna start it right in. You have Grady Jarrett behind him. Onyemata stays in the division, goes from the Saints to the Falcons. And speaking of that, the Panthers, Falcons, and Saints all have to get along for this tournament. That's just hilarious. Derek Brown at D-tackle number 1. Brian Burns starting at left end. And then Cameron Jordan right behind him. At kicker, we have Daniel Carlson and punter AJ Cole. Black jerseys are tied for the second most teams in the tournament, and their roster definitely reflects that fact. Anything short of a Final Four appearance will be tragic for them. But first, let's see if they can be the first team in this series to go undefeated. The Falcons are 4-3, tied with 2 other teams, including the Saints, who they took all their best players from.
3 weeks later.
Now they got a nice win streak going. They're 8-3, heading into a huge game against the 9-2 Commanders. You had to make the Commanders wear white at home so he could bring out the black jerseys and feel that team pride, man. First play is gonna be a sack. TJ Watt, let's go. Jacoby Brissett at quarterback for the Commanders. Low-key looks pretty good. So does that coverage by Terrell. This team is definitely capable of beating you in so many different ways, but Jacoby stays patient and finds Antonio Gibson. D-line has to do better. That's what I'm talking about. The strip sack fumble. Grady Jarrett scoops it up. A few plays later, it's a 3rd and 16. Gotta keep the chains moving, or at least stay in field goal range. Kyle Pitts gonna be wide open. What a dot by Jimmy G. 3rd down and goal. Man coverage. Adams gets the tutty. We had to go to our best player. 1st and 10. Brissett gonna start off in the 5 wide. There's a flag somehow. Hey man, for as much as I complain, that's actually a pretty good call. Like, Hayward threw him to the ground. He's lucky he didn't get ejected. They're not just the black jerseys, people. They also have black Air Force One activity. 2nd down and 7. Robinson can't shake loose of Jarrett's tackle. But that's the kind of aggression you're gonna need in a tournament like this. You need teams that are gonna be nasty. It's gonna be dirty. It's gonna just muck the game up. Nice tackle by the Honey Badger, but it's after they get the first. I have not been able to slow this offense down at all. Like, Jacoby is killing killing us. And there's the touchdown. What a drive. Looking for Devontae.
Wait till you see the...
He has to go up and get it, and he does. I don't know too many other teams in this tournament that have a kicker that could make this 61 yards. Daniel Carlson right through the uprights. Black jerseys take the lead back. Not to mention they have ball to begin half number 2, but it's a 3rd down and 8. Sticky situation, man coverage. Just have to get rid of it. Alvin Kamara out the backfield. That's what he could do for this team. Another ginormous play. Would love to get 7 against a team this good. Devontae holding on to it once again. Right up the gut. Good blocks. Oh, he doesn't know where he's going. Alvin gets us up 2 possessions. 3rd down and forever now. 3 and out would be phenomenal at this point in the game. Let's see if they can get it done. Over the middle. What a tackle. Now this is a prime opportunity for the black jerseys to distance themselves even more from the Commanders. Uh-oh, here comes the Honey Badger. What a return.
Jesus Christ.
And here's Josh Jacobs getting to the outside, putting on a nasty stiff arm. And the black jerseys are going to escape with the W. They finished 14-3, first in their division. They have a wild card game against the Lions coming up. Falcons are 2nd in points per game. Lions are top 10. ATL struggles with passing the ball, 30th in the league in that category, but everything else, especially on defense, they're really good. They lost in week 1 to the Saints, who they took all their best players from. I don't know how that's possible. And they lost in week 6 and week 7 to the Niners, who are on the red team, the Bengals, who are going to be on the orange team. But then they won every other game on their schedule, including a long win streak. Jimmy G was 4th in the NFL in touchdowns, 3rd in passer rating. Jacobs, top 10 in rushing touchdowns and rushing yards. And Devontae, 7th in receptions and receiving touchdowns. Only 9 picks to go with his 42 tutties. Less than 4,000 yards, but had himself 122.2 pass rating, 0.3 away from tying an NFL record. Along with 3 touchdowns on the ground, Devontae had 5. They both had almost 400 yards carrying. Kamara almost had 500, along with his 7 touchdowns, but it was Josh Jacobs. 5.5 yards a carry, 14 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. Devontae, our lone 1,000-yard receiver, but Jimmy G was spreading the ball around very nicely. MT, Pitts, Olave all had 700 plus receiving yards. All had 5+ receiving touchdowns. TJ gets 21.5 sacks to lead everybody. Hayward with 14, Crosby 13, Burns with 6.5, Grady with 6, Minka and Lattimore at 3 picks, and you had 3 guys with 2. DeMario led us with 92 tackles. Terrell, Lattimore, Matthew. You love to see guys in the secondary with a lot of tackles. Hayward, Watt, and Crosby led us in tackles for a loss. Carlson only misses 1 kick on the season, 74 of 74 in terms of extra points. On offense, they were 15th in yards, 2nd on defense in yards given up, 2nd in points scored, and 1st in points allowed. Mahomes wins the MVP. Brissett ends up top 3, so he beat an MVP contender in that huge game. Jimmy G gets 7th. Arthur Smith ends up 3rd for Coach of the Year. OPOI goes to Cooper Kupp. Devontae ends up 6th. DPOI goes to Bosa. Watt was 2nd. Brissett steals best QB from Garoppolo. Saquon gets best running back. Jacobs ends up 6th. Best wide receiver, of course, goes to Kupp. Adams was number 4. McCoy, Moton, Lindstrom, all in the top 10 for best O-lineman. Bosa gets best D-lineman, but there's Hayward at number 4. TJ wins best linebacker. We finally get an award. Crosby ends up number 5. He had Lattimore at number 9 for best DB, and Carlson at number 6 for best kicker. Black jersey's gonna have to start out against the 7th seed Lions, a team that's gonna be part of that blue jerseys team, but here come the black jerseys with a nice start. 14-3 ball game after 1, sizable lead, keeping the Lions at arm's distance heading into half number 2. 12-point game. They dropped 28 points, but we've seen when the Falcons have 28 in a playoff game, that does not mean the game's over. I'm just saying, but hey, they almost dropped 50 in this one. Dominant performance in the first playoff game. Jimmy G with 130.5 pass rating, 5 tutties, only 1 pick. What a performance. Jared Goff threw 2 INTs. It was a pass-heavy game. Olave with 3 touchdowns off of 6 receptions. That's the kind of potential that I think he has. Same with Kyle Pitts. And credit to the defense, stopping guys like Montgomery Eddy, Hutchinson, and company, man. This was a good win. Now they have to get through the 5 seed Philadelphia Eagles. Here's how they stack up. Top 5 in points per game. Top 3 in every major defensive category. This is going to be the biggest test of the season so far for this Black Jerseys team. Let's see how they start off, man. Last game, they had a nice start. This game, same exact thing. They're up 2 possessions. But you knew the Eagles weren't going away that easy. If we're going to win this game, it's not going to be a walk in the park. 7-point lead heading into half number 2. They extended to 11 at the start of 4th. Half possession, wasting clock, and they add on to their lead. That should be enough to go ahead and seal this victory. Things got out of hand late in the 4th. 45-13. What's getting into this squad? Just dismantling very worthy opponents, man. That Eagles team, you saw the stats they were able to put up, but it was no match for Jacobs. Almost 10 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns on the ground. This team is looking dangerous. They're proving they can beat you in a bevy of ways, and their defense is dominant as well. And now they're in the NFC Championship game. 14-3 versus 14-3. The Niners, the 1 seed in the NFC. They're 7th in points per game on offense. Both passing games struggle. Their stats look low-key identical. They have the same strengths and weaknesses. Now the Niners, of course, are part of that red jerseys team. You're the Black Jerseys. You have to beat them when they're all alone. Like, imagine them with all the other best players from the red jerseys. That's going to be even tougher. So, you know, you got to get things done right here, right now to help your morale heading into the tournament. You don't know if you're going to play them, but it would be nice to have that one up on them. Anyways, on 3rd and goal, the Black Jerseys get into the end zone, extend their lead again. They take care of business. Jimmy G is headed back to the Super Bowl. His worst game of the playoffs so far. 2 picks. But when Jacobs is running like this, it does not matter. 109 yards this time. Olave, 2 touchdowns. Gotta chill with the turnovers, but they're looking good. I love matchups like this. When one franchise is gonna get their first Super Bowl win, we have the Black Jerseys taking on the Browns. Cleveland is a run-heavy team. They have a top 6 offense, and they can stop both the pass and the run. 3rd and 1. Deshaun under center. I form. Chubb up the gut. Chubb with a nice gain down around midfield. Browns have a great drive going, but I jinxed them. You love to see it. Marcus May have just gotten the biggest play of the game already in the first quarter. First play on offense. Jacobs shaking off tackles, making people miss. What a run. He's been an absolute force of nature during this postseason run. Jimmy G on 3rd down, gonna loft it up. Devontae going up and getting it. But there's a chance they only end up with 3 points after that amazing 3rd down conversion from Devontae. It's a 3rd and goal. At the 4, 3-step drop. Here comes the blitz from the Browns. Jimmy G goes down. He fumbles. Myles Garrett scoops it up, and he's off to the races. No one's gonna catch him. Costly mistake. Could it be happening again? Could he really get to another Super Bowl and end up losing it? Man, that's how you fight back. 14 points unanswered to give them the lead heading into the second half. Now, can they hold on to it? It's a tie game. 1 timeout left for Cleveland. 3rd and 7. We're inside the 15. Jacobs gonna get the first. Best case scenario for this team. Carlson gonna kick the game winner. ATL is gonna win their first Super Bowl, and the Black Jerseys are victorious in the biggest game of the season. Another team in this tournament that has tasted the pinnacle of success in the NFL. Can they keep that winning streak going into the tourney? We're gonna find out in a few days. Thank you so much for watching to the end. One more team left to preview until we can begin the tournament. Destroy the like button if you're ready for that. Subscribe for new. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Stunning like I hit the jackpot. He don't wanna catch a fade. I'ma really get him blacked out. He ain't really about that life. Better breathe before you tap. Bop, steady rocking with the stripes. I'ma really get him checked. Everybody getting checks. Everybody getting bags. Will it end? Will it last? Rental cars going fast.
Please don't say you wanna be friends. In my dreams we play pretend. Maybe I can love you endless and this and this.